In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to hand sew a running stitch. What you'll need to hand sew a running stitch is a needle and thread, a needle threader, and scissors. And of course, our running stitch template that we've made in the last video. Now I've been hard at work on this template and I have only 2 more rows to complete. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate how to hand sew a running stitch on the final rows of our template. Beginning with the threaded needle, making sure that the thread is not too long. Keep it between 12 to 16 inches so that it doesn't get tangled. We will work the running stitch from right to left. We'll enter the work from underneath. And we're going to enter at the very first, the very end of the first marking on the right side. Now that we've entered at the very first marking, we're going to exit at the end of the marking and enter again at the beginning of the next marking, like this. Out and in. And pull through, making our first running stitch. So working from right to left, in and out, making the running stitch. A running stitch is used for seams and for gathering, and the technique for making the running stitch is very similar to the basting stitch, and it looks very similar to the basting stitch, except for the fact that the running stitch is shorter. And it's a permanent stitch. It's not a temporary stitch. So we're going to keep working the stitch, coming out at the end of the marking, entering at the beginning of the next marking. The running stitch is a short and even stitch. The length of your running stitch should be between 1/4 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. A running stitch will be used for seaming, for tucking, for mending, and for gathering. Now, once you get comfortable with the rhythm of the running stitch, you want to try putting more than one stitch along the shaft of your needle. This is what I mean. I'll go exit, enter, exit, enter again, exit, enter again, and then pull through. And now we've made several running stitches in a row. Exit and enter. Don't pull through yet. There we go. We're running several running stitches in a row. So we'll continue working the running stitch to the end of the row. Now that we've worked to the end of the row, we're going to end our stitch. To end our stitch, turn your work over. We're going to make a very small stitch right at the end of where we ended our last stitch. Like so. Pull, but not all the way through. Pull just until you see a loop form, and then put your needle through the loop and then pull to create a knot. We'll do that one small stitch. Pull, but not all the way. Go through the loop. And now we have a knot, and we can cut that. And we've ended our stitch. Once you've completed your 8 rows of the running stitch using the markings, we will complete 2 more without markings. We'll start in the same way, underneath the work, pulling up, and complete our stitches running in and out. Using the same technique as before. Keep working the running stitch until you've made it all the way to the end of the row. When you finish your last 2 rows without the markings, you'll have a total of 10 rows of the running stitch, and it should look like this.